NFL Week 4 did not disappoint. We are going to go over NFL Week 5 right after we recap some of our picks, our beer bets, and just the crazy week that ensued in NFL Week 3. If you were here for the Week 5 picks, all you got to do is skip forward to the section that says Week 5 picks. Simple as that. But NFL Week 4 beer bets, we went 1-1. BJ, you lost on the Buffalo Commanders game. We'll victory lap that. That's my first NFL beer bet win of the year. I'm now 1-3. You were 3-1. So, how do you feel about your Commanders getting absolutely just bent over by Josh Allen and the Bills?
It was a bad night, or a bad day. Somehow with the four picks, not very good. Bills have a good defense. I just really think that this might be the first week I don't ride the Commander spread, but it will. I'm not going to let this shut me down. I'm still on them. I still think that they're fine. But yeah, they got their shit rocked. So
yeah, this is, for me, this was a game that it gave me some good confirmation on the Bills because I expected them to be, a top 5 team in the league again, but there were still some question marks with the drama around Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen coming into the season, and then all of the DeMar Hamlin drama and the way that they kind of dropped out of the playoffs last year. But a strong game for the Bills on the road, nonetheless. I'm glad to get that beer bet. I did lose one beer bet, though, and that was the Chargers and the Vikings. I thought the Vikings were going to finally pull it together. Statistically, they're a fine team, but we knew this was going to happen. We knew their defense sucked. I had a little more faith in them than I should have, but congrats on that beer bet. How do you feel about the Chargers win in Minnesota?
That was such a good game. I didn't care who won at that point. I was just like, give me something crazy, which it ended up. It was a interception to end the game. But
yeah, I was worried at first because it felt like it was going to be a low-scoring game, which we all anticipated was going to be a high-scoring, and then next thing I know,
all you had to do was send a text over. I need more points in this game at halftime, and then they listened to you. So
yeah, I did do that. I forgot.
You did. But no, it was a really good game. 2 really high-powered offenses under the dome. It was beautiful. But yeah, the Vikings are just going to have to outscore teams.
They should trade Kirk Cousins. Not even gonna lie.
To the Jets?
Yeah, but I don't think the Jets are willing to buy into him that much. I think they want a temporary placeholder. But
Josh Dobbs?
Yeah, we'll see.
Way better than Zach Wilson. But yeah, I just thought it was a great game. I just thought it was 2 high-10 offenses. Did the over hit?
I don't think the over was 54, and I think it ended up being
28-24.
Yeah, so maybe for those who got it at opening line, which was 51, but then it steamed up to 54 as the week came on. But luckily we didn't mess around with that. So that was fun. Feel bad for Mike Williams, though. He did go out with the injury.
So sad.
A lot of my fantasy teams, but we still ride. Overall good week nonetheless. I hit the Bills. I did miss on the oh my gosh, who was it? I hit on the Browns as well. So that was a good pick. I felt good about that one. Nothing too exciting there. It's the Titans. We all knew the Titans were gonna be really bad. Their offensive line is just horrible. I love Mike Vrabel. I think he's a really good coach, but you mentioned Kirk Cousins going to the Jets. I think Ryan Tannehill should go to the Jets. I think low compensation, fine quarterback play would be in the best interest for the Jets to acquire him and the Titans to get rid of him and start using either Malik or Will Levis. I think it's just, the future is bleak for a Ryan Tannehill-led offense. I think they should go in and do that. So we I think we both actually hit on the Browns. So that was a good pick by us. We got it at both 3 and 4. I missed the Minnesota one. So that was my one miss of the week. So overall a good week. Had a great week in college football. But if you're interested in that, you can go watch our college football segment with Seth and I. So, but this is NFL. Brendan, how'd you do this week? How you feeling going into week 5?
Yeah, it was a pretty rough week for me, honestly. But I believe I was down just 1 unit this week. But it happens. I started out too hot. You can't go 6-0 all the time, like I did a couple weeks ago. So, but it was pretty good. I just thought it was an amazing week of football. I really want to highlight the Colts beating the Ravens at the Ravens.
That
I
is
thought that was
crazy.
pretty sick with Minshew as backup in there. I mean, the Colts. I mean, Steichen. I mean, you were on the Colts before the year started. I wasn't.
Yes,
And
sir.
once they get AR back, I mean,
Game
they're
over.
they're running a good show there. And then JT could come back. So they're 2-1, and they could continue to get those wins.
I'm gonna clip you saying that, and I'm gonna clip you saying that. You were right about the Colts. That's it. I'm just gonna have it. I'm actually gonna have it on my phone so I can listen to it periodically.
Yeah, just make it make it my ringtone.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Falcons and the Lions?
Not particularly. That was a kind of heartbreak. This might sound crazy, especially for those who know that I'm a true fan of the Falcons. But I think the Falcons are a Super Bowl team if they get a quarterback. I mean, they are one quarterback away from being a Super Bowl roster. Their defense is really, really good. They actually held the Lions to 13 points until the fourth quarter when it was just like too overwhelming of a situation to not. They actually gave up the ball in Lions territory just because the offense couldn't get anything going. I mean, Desmond Ridder missed Kyle Pitts on a wide open bomb. He missed Drake London on a few. And it's just he can't get anything going. And so I'm waiting for Desmond Ridder I'm waiting for Arthur Smith to, see and do something about that. I think that I think a switch to Taylor Heineke is inevitable at this point if Desmond Ridder keeps playing the way that he's playing. But don't really want to talk about it. Good win for the Lions. Sad win for the Falcons, but we'll be back. We still got a great team. People underestimate our trenches. We got a top 10 unit on both sides of the ball on the line. So I like our team, except for Desmond Ridder. So,
hey, Sam Laporta, remember the name? 8 catches, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Absolute monster.
We did have a high exposure of him on best ball.
I know. I'm glad.
So that bodes well for us. But
yeah, there really is only one more team I want to talk about. The dumpster fire of the Bears. Are they going to win a game?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't think so.
They're in shambles.
It's horrible.
Coaching staff, players. Like, I just don't see. I mean, I actually had, I was by no means made a pick on this game or anything, but I was actually optimistic that the Bears might come in with a little bit of fire and not keep it close, but make it an interesting game, maybe against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, I was just like, I was shocked by the level of play, that came out of that. I would have expected that out of, the Jets or the Cardinals, but the Cardinals surprised me. The Jets, they suck, but at least their defense keeps them in games. But goodness, Bears, gosh, I feel bad for all of you who are Bears fans. It's going to be a rough year, but I don't think Justin Fields is him. I don't think he is the answer. I think they're waiting for Caleb Williams or Drake May in the draft. But that's my 2 cents. Hey, well, I mean, we can sit here and talk about all the games of last week as long as we want. But NFL Week 5 is on the horizon, and we get potential game of the year this week in a marquee AFC matchup. Dolphins go to Buffalo and play the Bills. The Dolphins just steamrolled the Broncos in one of the most embarrassing losses in NFL history. Mike McDaniel has the Fins on a roll. Dolphins go to Buffalo as a 2.5-point underdog. Totaled at 53.5, highest totaled game on the slate by far, as expected. But Dolphins being an underdog, not so expected. let's talk about some of the money. It is early, again, Monday, early in the week, but 59% of the total bets are on the Dolphins. However, 70% of the money is on the Bills. So a little definitely, lopsided on either side of the fence there. So again, it's early in the week, so this is just some early money movement, but still, it helps us nonetheless. Brendan, do you think Dolphins win outright?
Do you think Mike is packing?
If you, I mean, sure.
Proportionally?
Proportionally.
Dude, the little man, the most confidence out of anybody coming out there and scoring 70 points.
He definitely whipped it out.
Dude's got to have a huge cock. Yeah, I don't think that this offense can be stopped. I think that the only way that it gets stopped is if it's self-inflicted, which could happen from injury, which could happen from a lot of different things. But I think they're going to go up to Buffalo and beat the Bills.
Dude, I want to take the Bills so bad here.
Dude.
Everything points me to bet the Bills, but I can't. Like, I think if I were to bet the Bills and then I were to come back here next week and be like, damn, Dolphins just beat the shit out of the Bills. How did I not see this coming? Of course I saw it coming. They just hung 40 on the Broncos. And, let's not pretend like the Broncos have a bad defense, because they put up like near historic numbers on the defensive side of the ball last year. So, and they have the same guys. They're still a solid defense. It's just their game. The numbers that they had from yesterday's game kind of skewed those metrics a little bit. But this matchup's going to be fun. Obviously, Miami is number 1 in total points. Buffalo's number 2 in total points per game. Miami is number 1 in total yards. Buffalo 7th overall in total yards. Buffalo 3rd overall in offensive EPA. Miami number 1. You can expect that just about on any offensive metric. But let's look at the defense. Offensive EPA allowed. The Bills are actually one of the league best, 3rd overall in offensive EPA allowed. Their defense is humming. They have their 1st overall in total yards allowed and air yards allowed and total defensive plays. So they get on and off the field quick. Miami, middle of the road. They're 15th overall in offensive EPA allowed, but some other metrics are not promising. They're 22 overall in the league in total yards allowed. They kind of sit right there in the 20 to 24 range for most of these metrics. So there's definitely a mismatch. So Bills have a good offense, top 3 in the league, I can say confidently, but they also have a top 3 defense in the league. Miami has the number 1 overall offense, but they have a mid-range defense. So it's almost a matter of like, what's it going to be better? You're really, really good at both, or you're great at offense. You're elite, top tier, and you're fine on the other side of the ball. So I'm excited to see what ends up being the case because, again, I'm really close to betting the Bills. I want to so bad. Everything's telling me to do it. My projections are telling me to do it. My projections actually have the Bills covering the spread. The money has me leading to bet the Bills, but man, how stupid would I be if I bet the Dolphins after they just hung 70?
Pussy.
Fine. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yes.
I'll do it. I'll put it on the board as a beer bet just because you said that.
Yes. That's
fine.
Good.
Fine. Put it on the board. I'm doing it. God, I can't even believe I'm doing it, but here we are. I wrote in my notes, don't know. That's it.
It'll be a fun one.
Man, it's going to be awesome. This is just like going to be kind of like a playoff game early in the season because they're in the same division. So many implications already this early in the season. And then I think we're still going to see some of the Tua hate, even though they still hung 70. I'm not a Tua hater. Don't get mistaken. I took the Bills, but I'm not a Tua hater. So I'm just excited for this game. I'm not touching the total because this one is at Buffalo. So It's outdoors. We have no idea what the weather's going to be, so it could be ugly. But gosh, Brendan, I'm assuming you're taking the Dolphins plus 2.5.
Yeah. I am.
I mean, I guess that's it. You got anything else to say about that?
No, nothing needs to be said. I mean, I think that the Bills are going to own the time of possession, but the Dolphins are going to win.
Yeah. Easy enough. All right, let's get back into sequential order. But before we do that, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and drop your favorite picks. We love scanning the crowd in the comments, seeing what picks you guys have cooked up on the books. Also, make sure to check out our app. It is currently a test version. You can download it if you have an iPhone through TestFlight. We would love to check for you guys to check that out. That's where you can also see all of our picks as well. But yeah, appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, favorite picks. Let us know who you like this week and why. All right. Back in order. Lions, Packers, they're the Thursday night game. This one is at Green Bay. Packers with a crazy comeback win against the Saints. And the Lions are kind of cooking right now. Beach. Packers are +1 home favorites. It's very few and far between that the Packers are not favored in Green Bay. Total's 45. Who do you like in this game and why?
I just don't think the Packers are as good as their record looks right now. I think they're fine, but I'm going with the Fighting Dan Campbell's of Detroit. It's 1 point.
It's 1.5, and I would be shocked if it's not 2 by the time that we publish this video. So
I'll take them at 2. I'll take the Lions at 2.
You'll take the Lions at
I'll take the Lions at 2. I just think they're a more complete team, and
true.
I think they'll be able to get after Jordan Love a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, on a short week, I feel like the Lions are better suited roster-wise to handle like this. But goodness, dude, a little bit of an interesting note here. The projections have Green Bay by 1 point, like 1 point. It's 23-22 is the projected final score. But if you change it to, or I looked at the model and the weight that it has for the Packers home field advantage, and it gives it 4.7 points. So it's saying that Lambeau is nearly a 5-point advantage for the Packers whenever they play. So whenever they're making a prediction on their total score, it's weighting home field advantage that much. So something to note, it's pretty interesting that it's that much. I think the Packers are like the second highest team when it comes to that. So, but I mean, kind of crazy. Percent of bets, 58% of the bets are on the Packers, but 61% of the money Dan Campbell's Lions. So money favors the Lions, man. I know it's a tough scene, primetime Lambeau. I don't know if I can do it.
I think that home field advantage bakes into the like 10 years of Aaron Rodgers. It's different with Jordan Love, in my opinion. I think that Aaron at home was a different breed.
Yeah. So do you think Aaron, or do you think Jordan Love is playing at a high level right now? There's a lot of differing opinions right now.
I don't know. I mean, nothing is significant. Like, he doesn't look like he is, but I mean, numbers are kind of yeah, there's no significant weight either way, in my opinion. I just think he's looking like a dude.
It's almost like this team is kind of going off of a little bit of a luck streak. Green Bay is 8th overall in total points in the league. They're only 25th overall in total yards, 22nd overall in total passing yards, 24th overall in total rushing yards. They are 10th overall in the league in offensive EPA and 9th overall in pass rate over expectation. So they're passing at a high rate, and they're really, really efficient. So that can explain for some of the numbers that you hear there. Pretty solid on defense. 11th overall in total passing yards allowed. They're the 4th best team when it comes to gaining turnovers. So I think they've done a really good job of capitalizing on turnovers. But man, this one's tough for me. I'm not sure where I lean here. I'm almost like I'm the numbers tell me to bet Detroit, but my heart says Green Bay.
Well, my answer to your question previously is no. He's only completing 53% of his passes. Who'd they play so far?
They played the Saints. They won in a thriller.
Yeah, dude, that was the dumbest. I mean, it ended up working out the dumbest go for two I've ever seen in my entire life. Sorry,
it worked out.
It worked out, man. I guess. Yeah, but they played the Bears and the Falcons. I don't know. He should be better than that. I don't think he is a extreme elevator by any means.
All right, I'm going Green Bay.
All right,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ride. All right, enough said. Moving on. Ravens Browns. This was an underrated matchup for me. I know everybody's down on the Ravens. Their injury report is lengthy, so I think that they're on a bit of a streak of bad luck right now due to all the injuries that are piling up. I expect them to come out swinging, just kind of with a bitter taste in their mouth from the way that they lost in the Colts. Should have been a pass interference on Zay Flowers, by the way, but we won't get into that. But right now, Ravens are 1.5-point dogs going into Cleveland, 42.5-point total. Cleveland finally looked, like the team that I expected him to last week. Deshaun played the best that he's ever played. He didn't play great, but he's played the best that he has played since joining the Browns. So I think this one's going to be fun. It's going to be kind of just like a slugfest almost. It's going to be ugly in the best possible ways. Brendan, who are you taking in this game?
Who is Melvin Gordon, the Ravens starting running back now? Gus Edwards and Justice Hill out, or is he coming back?
Justice Hill will come back this week, but yes, as it's.
I think I'm going Ravens. Nothing but feel. I don't know. I mean, look.
Ooh.
That's all. The Ravens have some points to work with. I'm going for Ravens points.
Okay, strictly feel. You're going off the Ravens. I like that, and that was my initial reaction. Let's talk about some of the money first. 55% of the total bets are on the Browns. 42% of the money is on the Browns. So, again, the majority of the bets are on the Browns, but the majority of the money is on the Ravens. Not sure what to make of that because it's not such a huge split, but man, I really like the Browns at home.
Yeah,
I think they kind of take advantage of the decimated Ravens roster. I think they have a lot more depth to work with. My game actually has this, or my projections have this as a really low scoring game, lower than even Vegas total. They have it as a Cleveland by 3 points and 16-13. So ugly game. So I'll take Cleveland here, man. We'll keep the streak going. I'll just make my whole card against BJ this week.
That sounds good to me, man.
This will be a fade BJ week, but
all right, yeah, pick the Bears against the Broncos, sure.
I'm not touching that game. I can promise you that. Yeah, I mean, I see nothing in the matchup comp. I mean, both teams look relatively similar offensively speaking. Baltimore's 12th overall in the league in total points. Cleveland 10th overall. Baltimore 12th overall in total yards. Cleveland 9th overall. I'm just not seeing anything crazy. Let's take a look at EPA. EPA allowed. Baltimore is 6th best team in EPA allowed on defense. Cleveland first. Underrated defense.
Potentially their defenses looked really good. Their defenses looked really good.
So, yeah, I'm taking Cleveland, man. I think I can say with enough confidence that Deshaun, I'm not saying he's been great. I'm not saying he's even been good, but he has been progressively getting better, ? But every week he's been getting better and better and better and better. And so I think this offense has a lot of underrated weapons, whether it's Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, DPJ, David Bell, and then, of course they lost Nick Chubb, but they brought in Kareem Hunt. Their offensive line is stellar. And I think they just kind of take advantage of Baltimore's lack of depth, to be honest with you. But, hey, I would not be surprised either which way. But give me the Browns.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. Moving on. Your Commanders go to Philly and play the Eagles. You know, we haven't seen the Eagles play their NFL Week 3 game. It is Monday, and they are playing in 2 hours. So, still haven't seen that yet. But Washington are 7-point dogs on the road in Philly. Totals at 45, 44 and a half on some books. But, you know, we did see the Commanders go into Philly and steal a win from them last year. And they do it again. Can Sam Howell not throw 4 picks and win outright?
I mean, he might not throw 4 picks, but I think that the Eagles are going to cover that 7.
Man, you already lost a lot of faith on your boys.
Look, they're playing the Eagles, man. Super Bowl runner-up.
I don't know, but Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, you know, kept it within 7.
Nah.
So you think the Vikings would beat the Commanders outright?
That's a good question. I guess we'll have to see later.
No, I'm kidding. I hate when people do that. I'm not all about the transient property in football. I think that's like one of the worst ways to judge teams. So I hate that. 58% of the bets are on the Eagles, but only 35% of the money is on the Eagles. There's some heavy money pouring in on the Commanders early in the week. Maybe some sharp money. What do you think?
I hope I'm wrong, but I can't after the performance that I just saw.
I mean,
I just think the Eagles are too good all the way around, all encompassing.
Yeah,
and at home, I mean, their crowd is great. I know it's gonna be 1:00, but still.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Hurts is gonna dice up the defense.
You're right. Mm-hmm. All right, do not touch me. But I mean, yeah, Philly's offense is significantly better than Washington's offense. I mean, Washington has they have flashes of greatness in moments, but the numbers are still not great. They're 22nd overall in the league in total points, 22nd overall in total yards, and they're 28th overall in offensive EPA. So not very efficient on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is progressively getting better, but they're still 20th overall in offensive EPA allowed and 22nd overall in passing yards and total yards allowed. So need to get better. And I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Eagles passing game at Philly. So do not touch for me. But I would not be surprised in the slightest if Commanders walked away with a cover. Not a win, but a cover.
Projections then.
No, I'm not taking this. I'm not touching this. But I got to let the people know. I got to inform the people if they do want to make a bet on this. Projections have it 27-17. So it likes Philly winning by 10. Makes a lot of sense. So we'll see. We'll see. Do not touch for me. But hey, it's one of the more exciting games of the week. I had to talk about it. So we'll see if Sam Howell and the boys can bounce back. All right, next game, the London game. First London game of the year. My Dirty Birds play the Jags. Technically, the Jaguars are the home team, but it is overseas. Falcons opened up as 3-point dogs, 43.5 point total. Ugly loss. Both teams are coming off of ugly losses, but this should still be a fun game nonetheless. I think it'll be a little more slow paced, naturally due to the Falcons running their offensive scheme that they do. But Jaguars looking to get their offense back on track with T-Law. Brendan, initial reaction to this spread. Who do you like and why?
Yeah, the Jags have been pretty disappointing to start the season off, but I am sticking with your Dirty Birds, our Vikings. I'm not our Vikings, our Falcons with this pick. I'll take the Falcons with the points, lower scoring game. I think they're going to get back on track as far as putting some points on the board through their run game.
Man, I hope so. So disclaimer, I can't make a pick on the Falcons, but everybody knows that I'm going to bet on the Falcons. Naturally, they're my team, but projections actually have the Falcons winning by 3.
Yeah.
Rather than vice versa. It has a 20-17 game in London in favor of the Falcons. The numbers are kind of gross. I'm not going to lie. After week 3, Atlanta's 25th overall in the league in total points. Jacksonville 20th overall. Atlanta's 24th overall in total yards. Jacksonville's 17th overall. Offensive EPA. I think this is the most telling one that goes into the model to make these projections. Jaguars, one of the least efficient teams in the league. They're 31st overall in offensive EPA. Atlanta's 20th overall. So that's where you're seeing that lack of efficiency in the model in terms of offensive production for the Jags. Just ugly, straight up ugly. They're not efficient in the air, in the air raid. They're not efficient on the ground. So they really got to do something. And this Falcons defense is not to be trifled with. They are 8th overall in the league in total yards allowed. Jacksonville, middle of the road at 15. Passing yards allowed, 5th overall for the Falcons. Great secondary, underrated, led by Jesse Bates. 23rd overall for the Jags, even though that doesn't matter considering that Desmond Ridder can't pass the ball to save his life. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I'm you know me. I'm a dirty bird. So I'm gonna go with the birds. All right, we riding the birds?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. That was easy. All right, Rams at Colts. Now, I was questioning talking about this one in our main slate preview because the Rams haven't played their Week 3 game yet. So with that being said, I had to talk about them because if they win tonight, they're actually looking at a shot to make a run for the division. Not thinking they get it, but I still think the 49ers and the Seahawks, are the main forerunners for that one. But the Rams have a lot more hope than they did at the start of the season. The Colts, they also stole one from Baltimore. They're 2-1. They get A-Rich back. I mean, man, this is going to be a fun game just because of all of the excitement, underrated excitement on the offensive side of the ball. Rams are +1 away dogs. So total is 45 right now. I expect it to move in favor depending on the outcome of tonight's game. So as we talk about it, keep that in mind, Brendan. But do you like the Colts at home as a 1-point favorite, or do you like the Rams +1?
Yeah, disclaimer, Joe Burrow is supposed to play tonight. I saw a notification while we were filming this. But I think that the Colts just win handily at home against the Rams either way. So I gotta capitulate all the way, man.
Okay, that's fair. Let's look at a little bit of the money. So early in the week, so far, the money and the total bets are extremely lopsided in favor of the Rams. 82% of the total bets are on the Rams. 73% of the money is on the Rams. So
at the Colts.
No. Yeah, at the Colts. People are betting on the Rams heavily. So a little bit concerned there. I'm on the Colts. I'm with you. Yeah. I think now, disclaimer, if you watched last week, my model has a Colts problem where it loves the Colts.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it has the Colts winning by like 6 or 7 every single game. But maybe there's something that we're missing. It hasn't led us astray yet. It's been very on point with the Colts. Actually, they've been doing great and they've covered accordingly if you follow the projections. So it actually likes the Colts to win by 8 this week at home against the Rams. We're still waiting new data for the Rams, so that could change, always subject to change. But, man, I think if the Colts get Anthony Richardson back, they could shred this Rams defense. Now, I think it could be higher scoring than people anticipate because, again, the Rams defense, if you look at it, the only name you would recognize is Aaron Donald. Like everybody else is just scrubs off the street pretty much. So I think this one can be fun and it can be a higher scoring game than people anticipate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that the Colts are going to be able to put up a lot of points. I am not certain that the Rams are going to do that, but I think the Colts at home are going to win pretty handily. That's the only thing that I can say for certain. I think AR is going to come back and have like 180 passing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. So looking at some of the numbers, and again, the Rams haven't played yet, so this data is only up to week 2 for them, but we do have data for week 3 Colts. they're 25th overall in offensive EPA, and that was including the Gardner Minshew game against the Ravens. So those numbers could be a little bit skewed when Anthony Richardson comes back. Rams are 5th overall in offensive EPA. We expect that kind of production out of the Sean McVay-led offense. They're actually exceeding the expectations I had for them. Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and Matthew Stafford have them going on all cylinders. And then the defense for the Colts is actually an underrated unit. 7th overall in offensive EPA allowed compared to 22nd overall for the Rams. And then the Colts are 24th overall in total passing yards or total yards allowed. So I think they get stuck in some tough matchups. All things considered, they played some really good offensive teams, but again, I think this can be higher scoring. I like the Colts, man. I love the Colts to cover. It's actually, if you can find it, depending on the outcome of the Rams game tonight, if you can get it where you're betting +1, +1.5, +2, I'm gonna do that. So, I love the Colts this week, man. I'm all over this team. So, all right, man. Hey, that wraps it up for the big game breakdown that I want to do. Let's get into some rapid fire really quick. Patriots go to the Cowboys. Cowboys are struggling. They just lost to Cardinals last week. Disappointed. They're looking for a bounce back game at home in Jerry World. They're 6.5-point favorites over Bill Belichick's Patriots. Totals at 42.5. Which team do you like here and why?
Patriots to cover. Lower scoring game in Foxborough.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look what they just did against the Cardinals, man.
Yeah, that's fair. So I can't really say anything here. My projections actually are on the nose and has the Cowboys by 6.5 points. So I can't really lean here any other way. I think the Cowboys take it to the Patriots this week. So I'll take the Cowboys.
All right.
Chiefs go to New York and play the Jets. Jets are 9.5-point favorites. Do you think the Jets keep it anywhere close?
No, the Jets are going to score like 7 points. So no, Chiefs.
All right. Well, don't be surprised if it's a cover. Don't be surprised if it's a New York Jets cover. That's all I'll say. Seahawks, Giants, Monday Night Football. Giants are 1.5-point home favorites on most books right now. Do you think Seahawks go and take it to the G-Men, or do you think the G-Men cover?
No, I think the G-Men have started off with some pretty difficult matchups. Let me look real quick. And I think they're going to take it at home on Monday.
Okay, fair. Let's take a look at the next game. Raiders go to the Chargers. Chargers are 5.5-point favorites at home. Jimmy G and concussion protocol. I like the Chargers. Who do you like?
Yeah, I like the Chargers. My question to you is, who's going to fill in that Mike Will role? Is it going to be Josh Palmer or is it going to be Quentin Johnson? Because I think it'll be Palmer.
I think it'll be Palmer at first, and then it'll be Quentin Johnson once he's gotten acclimated.
Okay.
Steelers go to the Texans. CJ Stroud's playing out of his mind right now. Texans are at home. They're 3-point home underdogs. Who do you like this week?
Yeah, Texans. The Steelers just don't have any sort of offense. So
I like the Steelers this week. I think they cover the road. All right, Broncos, Bears. Bears 3.5-point home favorites. Broncos, Bears.
Wait. Are you sure the Bears are favored?
No, 3.5-point dogs. Sorry.
At home.
At home.
Yeah, no, man. I will not bet on the Bears until they win a game. I can't.
Do not touch me.
I can't.
I don't even know why I had this down.
I like the Broncos at 3, though. They're at 3.5, right?
Yeah. 3.5 on some books.
I would like it at 3.
Okay. Last one I want to bring up. Bengals go to the Titans. Bengals haven't played yet, so we don't know what they're going to do. Titans are 2-point home underdogs on some books, 1 point on others. What do you think? We haven't seen Burrow play tonight, so this is kind of an iffy one. We're taking a shot in the dark.
There are how many? 2?
Yeah.
2 points?
2-point underdogs.
At home?
At home.
I'll just go Titans here.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
they're weird.
Bengals.
You know they're weird.
They are. I think I would have to ride Bengals. Projections have them by 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Hey, that wraps it up for us, guys. If you are watching, we appreciate you guys being here so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite pick of the week. Give us your favorite lock. Make sure to let us know why you love that pick. If you also like college football, make sure to check out that content as well. We appreciate it.
See ya.